everybody. This is a Magic Circle class, so I thought I would record a couple of classes just using certain bits of equipment, because I know some of you have got different bits and bobs at home, so it's quite nice just to mix things up a little bit and just utilise the equipment that you have. So this class is a Magic Circle class. And it is probably sort of more intermediate kind of level rather than being for complete beginner. So if you are a complete beginner, I wouldn't really advise doing this class until you've practiced more at a lower level, basic level initially. Obviously, if you have certain conditions, joint problems, back problems, if you've got any changes to your medical status. If I've obviously had you in my classes in the past, if there's anything new that I don't know about, or if there's any kind of major problems going on at the moment, then you can either message me before you start doing this class, or just check with your GP that you're okay to exercise. If you're somebody who I haven't met before and has any really specific health conditions, again, please do get clearance from your medical provider before you start, or feel free to drop me a message and just get clarification as to whether this is a suitable class for you or not. You can contact me through Facebook, you can email info@enlivenhealth.co.uk, or you can give me a call, whatever's more suitable for you. The other thing to mention is if you do start having problems throughout the class for whatever reason, please do stop and again get in contact with me and let me know what the situation is. Right, so we're going to start with a warm-up. Now, if you've got a mat at home, great. If you haven't, a comfy rug, a towel, you don't have to have a mat, but just make sure you're comfortable when you're on the floor. Don't do this on your bed, and make sure that the surface that you're on isn't too hard either. Other things that I have here, which will be useful for when we get down onto the floor, if you have anything like this at home, I have a couple of different blocks for my head. I've got an extra one for when we do some hands and knees work. It's quite nice just to have a little bit of cushioning underneath your knees as well. Headrest, again, if you don't have one of these, you can use, again, rolled up towel, a small cushion. So you don't have to have blocks specifically, but it's nice to have something to go underneath your head, underneath your knees if you need it. The other thing that I've got here is a soft ball. So this is a Pilates ball. Again, you don't have to have one of these, but if you've got it, great. If you haven't, you can use something else like a rolled up towel, or again, a cushion of some kind. So don't worry if you don't have this specific stuff. It's just useful if you have. Right, so let's get going. So we're going to take the circle. You're going to rest your hands against the grey bits of the circle, or the padded bits if you've got a different type of circle. Nice long fingers. We're going to take the arms up just to about shoulder height, and we're going to apply just a little connection against the circle with the heel of each hand. From here, I just want you to think about where the rest of you is positioned. So we're going to bring the feet underneath your hips. Just check that your weight is nice and even through the feet. So we're just going to roll forward onto the front of the foot and back onto the heels. And we're just going to keep going. So transfer your weight forward and then back onto heels. And we're just going to keep going. Now, the whole time we're doing this, make sure that you're keeping your shoulder blades drawing down your back. We're keeping the neck nice and long, and we're keeping the core gently switched on. So if you imagine your belt wrapped around the lower part of your tummy, it has 6 notches on, and we're tightening it up to notch 3. So it's about a 50% of a maximal contraction. We're focusing on the lower core. Okay, let's just do one more. And then just come back down just to center. So the big toe, the little toe, and the heel should be evenly down into the mat weight-wise. So nice even weight distribution through each foot. Allow the knees to bend slightly, and then just make sure that your spine and pelvis are in neutral. So if you tuck the tailbone under, reverse the other way, we're just coming into the center, okay? So we're not arched, we're not flat, we're just in the middle. The ribs should just be over the pelvis. So let's start. So we're going to keep that connection on with the core. We're going to breathe in, and I want you to reach your arms up, but without arching the spine. Breathe out, come back down. And we're going to keep going. So breathe out, reach up. Breathe in, come back down. Breathe out. Breathe in. Make sure you're keeping the shoulders down, keep the rib cage over the pelvis, and make sure you're not losing that nice neutral spine. Let's do 2 more. Now we're going to start adding on a little bit. So we're going to add some heel lifts in. So we're going to reach the arms up. We're going to take one heel away from the floor, keeping the pelvis level, and then arms down, heel down. Other side, breathe out, lift the arms. Lift the heel, breathe in, come back down. So again, we're adding in another little element to it. So just make sure that you're not twisting or dropping through the pelvis. Keep the spine in neutral. Shoulder blades are still drawing down. Let's keep going. We're going to do 1 more on each side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to add some rotation in now. So I want you to imagine, just bring your arms down, roll your shoulders a few times while I'm talking about this. So I want you to imagine that the 2 bony points on the front of the pelvis are a set of car headlamps. Now those headlamps are just allowed to point forwards. We're not twisting, and we're not shining those lamps on any other part of the room other than just straight ahead, okay? So this exercise focuses more on upper body. We don't want to be over twisting through the pelvis or the lower back, okay? So arms in front, shoulder blades are down. We're going to breathe in, and you're going to rotate round to the left. You can let the left elbow bend as you're coming over to the left. Breathe out, back to the centre. Breathe in, other side. Right elbow bends. Breathe out, back to centre. Breathe in. Breathe out, push it back. Let's keep going. As you breathe out and come back to the centre, we're deepening the connection into the core. 1 more each way. Bring your arms down, roll the shoulders. So, we're going to add some squats in with it. Now we're going to do some ballet squats. So your feet are going to be a little bit wider than your hips. The toes are going to be pointing out to the side. We're going to take your arms in front. The shoulder blades are drawing down, the fingers are long, and you're just going to connect the hands against the circle again. Now we're not trying to do it as hard as possible. It's just a little connection just to feel your core activate that little bit more. So we're going to breathe in, we're going to come down into your squat. As you bend the knees, we're bending them out over midfoot. Breathe out, connect that a little bit more into the tummy, come back up. And again, breathe in, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep going. Next one, we're going to come all the way down to the bottom, but then we're just going to come up half. And then all the way down again. And all the way up. Okay, so breathe in, come down. Breathe out, come up half. Breathe in, come down. Breathe out, all the way up. Let's keep going. Breathe in. Breathe out, half. Breathe in. Breathe out, up. Keep it going. We're going to do 2 more. And we're going to come down. We're going to hold it at the bottom. Stay here. We're going to take a breath in and we're going to reach the arms up. Look through the circle, reach to the ceiling. Breathe out, connect that bit deeper with the tummy. Come back to where you started. We're going to keep going for a few more. Breathe in, reach up, keep the shoulder blades down. Breathe out, come back. Now, yes, you will feel the burn in your legs. Okay, we're going to keep going for a few more. Last 2. Last 1. Come on, you can do it. Keep holding. Come come back and come back up. Well done. Bring your arms down and we're going to roll the shoulders. So horrible but good at the same time. So, we're not quite done yet. We're going to do some lunges as well. I know we all hate them, but they are also fantastic for the legs. So you will feel some burning going on with these as well. So we're going to take a step forward. So I'm going to stand sideways on just to show you how to set yourself up. So we're going to take a step forward with one leg, and the back foot is going to lift. So we're going to lift the heel of the back leg, okay? Now remember, with lunges, it is the back leg that is doing the work, okay? The front leg is, of course, still bending, but we want to try and focus on what the back leg is doing, okay? So we're going to come down and we're going to come up. We're not going to move forward and we're not going to move back, okay? So try and get into a nice neutral position. Before you start, we want both feet pointing forward. So just make sure that you're not standing with one, particularly the back leg, rotated. So both feet are pointing forwards. Lift the back heel, shoulders are down. Try to neutralise the pelvis as best you can. It is a bit harder in this position, but just try not to twist through the pelvis. Arms are going to come out in front, shoulders are down, and we're going to come down with the back leg. So it's the back knee that is coming down towards the floor. And then we're going to come back up. Okay? So it's the back leg that is doing the work. So breathe in to come down, breathe out to come up. And we're going to keep going. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Connect that bit deeper into the tummy on the way up. Shoulders down. On the next one, we're going to come all the way down, but then we're just going to come up half, and then all the way down, and all the way up. All the way down, up half, all the way down, all the way up. 2 to go. Up half, down, and up. Last one. And on the next one, we're going to come all the way down, we're going to hold. Okay, try and keep it here. We're just going to do a few rotations. We're going to breathe in, rotate, breathe out, back to the center, breathe in, rotate, breathe out, center. One more each way. Breathe in, breathe out. Last one. And breathe out. Well done, come up. And just shake off those legs. Horrible, 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 horrible. So unfortunately, we're going to do the same on the other side. Hang in there. This is only the warm-up. Right, so same as before. So we want a nice big space in between the feet. Lift the back heel. Both feet are pointing forwards. Try not to twist through the pelvis. Engage into that core. So connect to notch 3 on your imaginary belt. So let's just get these done. So again, shoulders down, little connection against the circle. We're going to breathe in to come down and breathe out to lift. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Last one. And then we're going to come all the way down to the bottom, up half, all the way down, and all the way up. All the way down. Up half. All the way down. All the way up. Now just watch how that front knee is bending. Okay, we do not want this business. Don't allow that knee to sweep in across your midline. We want the knee to bend over second and third toe. Last one. Up half. Down. And up. We're going to hold at the bottom. This time we're going to go back to your rotations. We're going to breathe in. Breathe out back to the center. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more each way. Do brilliantly. Use your breathing. Last one. Well done. And then come up. Shake your legs off. Right. So, we're going to come down onto the floor. So this is a bit of a blast today, so we're not faffing about doing loads of stretchy bits sort of in between, but we are going to do your cat stretch because it's quite nice just to loosen your back off a little bit as well. So I like to use these little blocks underneath your knees when you're doing hands and knees work. You don't have to, but if you haven't got one of these, like I said before, a little cushion will be fine. So just your knees are just underneath your hips. We're going to bring the hands down onto the floor, and you can really put the hands wherever they feel comfy. So under shoulders, if that doesn't feel comfortable, a little bit further forwards, a little bit wider, wherever you want to put them really, okay, as long as your wrists feel okay. So shoulder blades are drawing down. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to scoop the tailbone under, curling up through the spine, draw up through the tummy, breath in at the top, keep those shoulders down, breathe out, we're going to reverse it. And you can just come back to neutral, or if you want, you can extend that a little bit more into the upper back. So again, breath in, breathe out, tailbone under. Draw up through the tummy, breath in, hold. And come back down. Let's keep going for a few more. Breathe out. Breath in, hold. Come back down. Last two. I've got a feeling this hood is going to annoy me. Hold on, let's just do one last one. Excellent, come down. And we're just going to hold it, let the spine open. Allow the breath to come right into the base of the ribs as you breathe in, and then a nice relaxed breath out as you breathe out. And then carefully we're going to come up into sitting. Now we're going to do a little bit of work on your side with your circle now. So, useful to have big block under head. If you feel like you need a bit of extra, ideally we want to make sure that your neck is in a neutral position. So we're not dropping the head back or forward, we're just keeping it in neutral. Now we're going to start off, we're going to take your circle, you're going to thread your feet through the middle of the circle, and we're going to rest the grey bit of the circle against the mid-thigh of the bottom leg. So we're going to turn over onto your side, and we're going to do some hip opening here, okay? So the circle is pointing up. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get into a comfortable position because the circle can feel like it's digging into your leg, but you should be able to move around so it actually doesn't feel that bad at all. It actually feels quite comfortable. Sometimes if you move the padded bit closer to the knee, it can feel a little bit more comfortable than higher up. So just adjust where the circle is, just so that it feels comfortable on your leg. So we're going to come down onto your side, make sure you've got enough support underneath your head. Your hips are forward. We're going to lift the feet up away from the floor. Take a breath in, connect to notch 3, and we're going to open the top knee up. Now we're going to push against the circle when we get to the top, and then breathe in, come back off. So we're going to breathe out, connect, open up the top leg. Now as you lift, try and think about bringing big toe and heel closer and tighter together. Push up against the circle at the top, and breathe in, come back off. Now if you imagine you've got a strawberry in between your side and the floor that you don't want to squash. So we're trying to keep a little sense of space in the side the whole time. Let's keep going. Breathe out and breathe in. We're going to do 3 more here. And then bring your feet down and just hug the top knee up towards you. Just give it a little rest for a moment. Now, we're going to bring the circle down to the bottom of the leg this time. So the underneath leg is going to rest onto the inside of the circle underneath. So the circle is still just pointing up towards the ceiling. If you just rest the leg just slightly above the ankle onto the circle. Stretch the legs out. So we want nice straight legs. So sometimes it can be a bit faffy getting here, but just practice and you'll be fine. So top leg is going to rest on top. Okay? Again, you've got your little strawberry in your side, your tummy switched on, shoulder blades are down. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to press that leg down. So we're going to push the top leg down against the circle. Breathe in, reach it up. Breathe out, push down. Breathe in, reach up. Now if you want to make this harder, take your top arm, reach it to the ceiling. Keep the shoulder blade drawing down. Three to go. So although we're working into the hip, we're focusing on what's going on in the core as well. So every time you breathe out and press down, we want to deepen that connection into the core as best as you can. Let's just do one last one. And then come back up. Bring the hand down for a little bit of support. We're going to go on to underneath leg now. So connect, breath in, breathe out, bottom leg is going to lift. Breathe in, bring it down. And again, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Try and keep it nice and straight. You don't have to lift it all the way up to meet the circle, but we want to come up high enough to feel that activation into your adductors, so your inner thighs, but also, again, deepening that feeling into your deep core. So again, breathe out as you lift, in as you lower. Stretch the arm up again if you want to make it harder. Three to go. Bring it down. Little breather. We're going back to the top leg this time. So take a breath in. Keep that little sense of space, if you can, in your side. We're going to breathe out. We're going to lift the top leg up towards the ceiling. And then breathe in, bring it back down to the circle. Breathe out, reach it up. Breathe in, bring it down. Keep going. So again, deepen the connection with the core as the leg lifts. Shoulder blade drawing down. If you want, we can reach that arm up again. Let's keep going. We're going to do 3 more. Last one. We're going to take the leg down just so it's slightly above the circle. We're going to hold it here and we're just going to pulse. Just little tiny movements up and down. Breathe in for 2. Breathe out for 2. Keep focusing on your core. And we're just going to keep going. Let's do 4 more. Well done. And then hug the knee in, hold it. It's very usual to feel the burn, so don't feel alarmed by that. Right, so from here, let's have a little bit of a transition. So we're going to turn over onto your back. We're going to keep it simple to start. So we're going to take your green ball, if you haven't got your ball, whatever else you've got at home. So rolled up towel, cushion, whatever it may be, but you're going to place something in between your knees, okay? We're going to keep the feet down on the floor to start with, and I want you to just run through, make sure feet, knees and hips are parallel. We want spine to be in neutral, so if you make sure that your head is well supported on your block. If you flatten into the small of your back, and then arch away a couple of times, and then we're just going to rest in the middle, keeping the pelvis nice and level, keeping your shoulder blades down. We're going to take hold of your circle and we're going to place your hands just over shoulders, little squeeze against the circle like we were doing before. So keep the shoulders down, connect the knees against the ball. We're going to breathe in, you're going to take the arms back behind you. Breathe out. Connect that little bit deeper into the core as you return. So breathe in. Breathe out. Now, if you want to, we can add on with this. Now, the way that we can add on is to add in a little bit of an abdominal preparation or a little curl up. So we're going to take the arms back. Now, this time as you breathe out and return, we're going to lift the head away from your block. We're going to keep the spine in neutral, but we're just going to roll up through the spine. And then we're going to come back down again. One segment of the spine at a time as you come up, and one segment of the spine at a time as you come down. Just try not to lose your chin as you lift. So we're keeping the neck long, but we're not poking the chin forward. So we're breathing out as you come up, breathing in as you come down. Breathe out, deepen the connection with the core as you come up. Breathe in, control back down. Breathe out. Breathe in. Let's keep going. We're going to do 3 more. Last one. And come down and just have a little rest for a moment. If you want to, you can bring your knees in. Just allow the back to flatten. You can just rotate the legs around a few times each direction. So pop the ball to one side. We're going to add on a little bit now. So we're going to do the same again. So we're going to stretch your arms up. This time we're going to take the arms back. So we're going to breathe in, same as before, take the arms back. Now we're going to breathe out, we're going to lift, same as before. We're going to lift the head as well if you want to, but we're going to take one knee up and we're just going to twist towards it. And then we're going to bring the leg down, bring the arms back. So we're really keeping this nice and controlled. Keep your spine in neutral. Don't flatten the back as you come up. And don't arch the back as you come down. Try and keep the pelvis nice and level in both directions. Breathe out. Breathe in. Keep it controlled. Let's keep going. One more on each side. And have a little rest again. So just bring your knees in. Another little stretch. We're going to move on again, okay? So next one, we're going to come up into tabletop. So both legs are going to lift. Now, if you don't like both legs in tabletop to here, just one leg up is fine, okay? So just do a middleman and just have one leg up. So stretch your arms up, draw the shoulder blades down, make sure the spine is neutral. And we're going to take one leg to tabletop. And then what I want you to do is just allow the back to flatten slightly, take the other leg up, but then see if you can come back to more of a neutral position. So we don't want the back to be completely flat down into the floor. So we're going to hold the arms here. Take a breath in, we're going to lower one foot to the floor. Keep it really light tap. Breathe out, lift. Other side, breathe in, lower the leg, light tap, breathe out, lift. So as we're lowering the leg, make sure you're not arching the spine. As you're bringing the leg back up, we're not flattening the spine. So again, controlled. Try not to twist or drop through the pelvis. Neck stays nice and long. Ribs are relaxed. Breastbone is soft. If you want to make it slightly harder, we can speed this up. So as one leg is coming down, the other leg is coming up. So we're going to lower and up. Again, control around the pelvis. Keep that connection on to notch 3 of your imaginary belt. Breathe in for 2. Breathe out for 2. And keep it going. In for 2. Breathe out for 2. If you want to add on, we can lift the head. Come up into a little curl up. Keep the neck long. Let's keep going. We're going to do one more on each side. And then come to tabletop. Bring your head down. We're going to take the arms back. Breathe in. Breathe out. And again, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to add some layers in. On the next one, we're going to stretch one leg out as the arms come back. Draw the leg in as you return. Other side, breathe in. Breathe out. Don't lose that neutral spine. Keep your shoulder blades drawing down. Keep your neck nice and long. If you want to layer in a little bit more, we're going to stretch. As you come back to the centre, we're going to lift the head. Stretch the other side. Lift the head as you come up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. See if you can do both legs on the next one, just for one more little challenge. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pull back in. Imagine you're tensioning a spring as you stretch, and then you're drawing that spring back together, just recoiling as you're returning. So breathe in, stretch, lengthen. Breathe out, pull back in. Feel the energy as you come back. Don't worry if it shakes. Just keep it controlled around the spine. Let's do 2 more. Well done. So come in. Draw your knees in, let your back flatten, rotate the legs. Oh, so we're going to do some bridges. So we're going to take the circle, we're going to thread the feet through the middle, and we're going to rest the outsides of the thighs against the grey bits of the circle. You might want to come a little bit flatter underneath your head for the bridges. Just make sure that, you're not losing your chin, so we don't want to squish through the front of the neck. So feet, knees, hips parallel, shoulders down, breath in. Breathing out, we're going to scoop the tailbone under. And keep the tension against the circle with your thighs, and we're going to peel up away from the mat. Hold for a breath in at the top. Make sure you can really feel those glutes switching on at the top. Keep the shoulder blades nice and relaxed, and then we're going to roll back down. So starting from the top, we're going to roll all the way back down, back to the tailbone. We're going to keep it going. Breathe out, flatten, roll up. Breath in at the top. Breathe out, roll back down. Lovely one for the spine. Obviously don't move into pain. We don't want to be pushing into any discomfort. Work with what feels good for you. You don't have to progress, but if you fancy making it a little bit different, we're going to come up and hold at the top on the next one. We're going to open the right hip out against the circle at the top. So we're going to stay in the bridge, keep the pelvis level, breathe out, right leg is going to press out against the circle, breathe in, bring it back. The left leg is staying completely still. Right leg, breathe out, press out, breathe in, bring it back. Just the right leg, breathe out, press, breathe in, come back. So we don't want to drop down through the pelvis, keep the lift, keep the glutes switched on. Use your exhale, breathe out, press out, connect that bit deeper into the tummy, breathe in, return, breathe out, breathe in. 3 more this side. Back to the centre, roll back down carefully through the spine, back to the tailbone. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. Breath in, reset before you start, breathe out, we're going to lift. This time left leg is going to do the work, so right leg is nice and still, breathe out, left leg is going to press out. Breathe in, bring it back. And again, breathe out, left leg. Breathe in, bring it back. Breathe out. Breathe in. Don't let those hips drop. Right leg is staying nice and still this time. Imaginary drink balanced on that right knee. We don't want it to spill. Let's do 3 more. Back to the centre. And we're going to roll back down again through the spine, all the way back down to the tailbone. So we're going to add on one last little bit now. So we're going to roll back up. We're going to do some hip dips. So just keep the connection against your thighs, against the circle. But we're just going to sink the hips straight down to the floor. So just come straight down. Don't let them touch the mat. Squeeze back up. And again, breathe in, sink down. Breathe out, squeeze up. Breathe in, sink down. Breathe out, squeeze up. Breathe in, sink down. Breathe out, squeeze up. Let's keep going. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. We can do another 3. Hold it at the top, breath in, and breathe out. We're going to roll back down carefully. And this time when you get to the bottom, just hug your knees in, pop the circle to one side, flatten the back, rotate the legs a few times each direction. So we're going to finish here with hundreds. Now, hundreds, we're going to do something a little bit different to usual, and we're going to take the circle. You're going to rest it in between your ankles. Now, some people absolutely hate this position, in which case, please feel free not to do it. Okay, just do it as we would normally do with the legs together. Okay, but we're going to come straight up to tabletop with the legs. We're going to reach the fingers down towards the feet. Just make sure before you start the spine and pelvis are nice and neutral. Shoulder blades are down. We're going to breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. If you want, we can lift the head. In for 5 and out for 5. Keep the tension against the circle with your ankles, so we're keeping that nice connection on. Inner thighs will feel it heavily with this, so be careful. In for 5, out for 5. Let's add on. Stretch the legs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring them in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. We're about halfway. Keep that connection on with the circle. We're going to do 3 more breaths. Last one. Well done, and then come in. Pop the circle to one side again, have a momentary rest. And we're just going to do the other hip, okay? So this is going to be the last little bit, and then we're going to finish with some stretches. So turn back over onto your other side. And we're going to go back to threading your feet through the middle of the circle. Your underneath leg is going to rest onto the grey bit or the padded bit of the bottom bit of the circle. You've got support under your head, knees are bent, and we're lifting the feet. Keep the big toe and the heel of the feet pressed together. Breath in, connect, breathe out. We're going to open the top knee. We're going to push it up against the circle at the top, and then we're going to come back off. So quarter notch 3, breathe out, lift. Breathe in, down. Breathe out. Breathe in, down. Keep going. Every now and again, just check where that top shoulder is, because it will want to hunch after a while. Three to go. And come down, just a little stretch just for a moment. So like we did before, we're going to move the circle down. So the bottom foot, or the bottom ankle, just slightly above the ankle is resting onto the grey bit underneath, or the padded bit underneath. Top leg is going to rest on top. So really we want to try and create a nice line going from foot to knee to hip to shoulder, okay? We've got your little space in your side, so your little strawberry, whatever, is just there. We don't want to squash it, okay? So we're going back to top leg. So breath in, connect. Breathe out, we're going to press the circle down. Breathe in, let it lift. And again, breathe out. Breathe in, let it lift. Keep going. Three more. Last one, we're going back to bottom leg. So bottom leg is coming up and down. Try and keep the knee as straight as you can. So we're trying to work as much as possible into inner thigh. Breathe out as you lift. Deepen the connection with the tummy. Breathe in, lower. Check that top shoulder again, make sure it's not right up by your ear. Three more. And we're going back to top leg again. So bottom leg down, top leg is coming up. Oh, nearly lost my circle. So we're going to breathe out, lift the leg up, in to come down. Again, keep that little sense of space in your side. So we don't want to feel like you're squishing the whole of that side down into the circle. Like we did before, if you want to reach your arm up, make it harder. Let's keep going. We're going to do another three. Last one, we're going to come down and I just want you to hold just so that the circle is slightly above, oh sorry, your leg is slightly above the circle, and we're just going to pulse. Little movements up and down. Keep breathing. Breathe in for 2, out for 2, in for 2, out for 2. Keep going. Bernie, 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 Bernie. Who's Bernie? Right, keep going. Let's do 4 more. Well done. And then another stretch. Brilliant. Right, so well done. Let's turn over. We'll just do a couple of stretches to finish so we can carry on with the circle for the first one. So we're going to do hamstrings. So just come over onto your back. We're going to rest one foot onto the inside. We're going to reach the leg to the ceiling. If you want, you can slide the other leg to the floor. If you want, we can just point and flex the ankle of the foot that you're stretching or the leg that you're stretching up and down, just so that we're tensioning that a little bit more through the back of the leg. It shouldn't feel like it's shaking too much or really at all. So if you desperately feel like you're resisting the stretch, then ease off. Good, let's bring that one down. Let's do the same on the other side. So stretch the leg up. Slide the other one down, and again we're going to do the same again. Just gently up and down. You might find one side is a lot tighter than the other. This is definitely my tight side. So when you're stretching, ideally 30 seconds each side, but you can take as long as you want. Just make sure that you really feel like you've stretched enough. 10-second holds is often not enough. So let's stretch your glutes as well, so we don't need the circle for this one. We're just going to rest the foot onto opposite knee. If that's already stretching, you can leave it there. If you want to hug the other leg in, you can. We're just going to hold it and just focus on your breathing. And then let's do the same on the other side. And then bring the feet to the floor. We're going to glue the legs together now. Take your arms out to the side, so hands are level with shoulders, palms are up, and shoulder blades are connecting down. We're going to take both legs over to one side. Let the head rotate opposite direction. Take a breath in, breathe out, come back to the centre, over the other way. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, back to centre. Let's just do one more each way. And then draw your knees in. One last time, let the back flatten. We're just going to rotate the legs. And back round the other way. Fab. So come over onto one side, just into sitting. Make sure your head feels okay and you don't feel dizzy. And we're going to come up into standing. We're just going to finish with some roll downs, but we're going to use your circle for these as well. So what I want you to do, and just be really careful, watch your balance, is you're just going to stand. And let's stand on the grey bit of the circle, on the black bit of the circle. So you're not standing on the padded bit, you're standing on the ring of the circle. Imaginary wall behind you, and we're going to do some roll down. So we're going to take a breath in. As normal, don't work into any discomfort. We're going to drop chin on chest, and we're going to roll down. When you get to the bottom, place your hands onto the circle, and we're just going to push it down. Hold it for a breath in, and then breathe out. We're going to come back up. And again, hold it for a breath in at the top. Breathe out, come down. It's a bit of a challenge on the balance as well, so just be careful. Push down a little way at the bottom, just deepen the connection into your tummy. Breath in, hold. And breathe out again, roll back up. We're just going to do one more. Excellent, well done. So carefully, just step out there, just don't trip. And so well done, I hope you enjoyed that little blast with the circle. Like I said before, a little bit more advanced, and you may well feel it around the hips, but feel free to just repeat this as often as you want to. It's quite nice just for a little bit more of a challenging workout, and hopefully again you'll do a few more of my classes soon, and hopefully see you soon. Any problems, feel free to message me, just drop me a line either through Facebook or email, and take care.